2 videos in 10 minutes, aren't you lucky? I decided to post this one. Again, I wasn't planning on it, but I'm posting this one because I think that sometimes I'm not clear enough when I speak. Again, that's just a natural human thing, you know? People aren't clear about what they say unless they've, you know, like if you've got a script, then you're clear about what you're saying. But if you're not, haven't got a script, then you're not, you know? If you just know exactly what you're going to say, unless you're very, very, very good at public speaking, which I'm not, then chances are you've got a script prepared. You know, people stumble over their words a lot. People get confused with what they say. Well, not confused, but people, I don't know. I don't know what the term is, but sometimes people, what they think and what they say are entirely different things, you know? Just because I'm saying something and it makes sense in my head doesn't mean it's going to make sense to other people, because people aren't my head, you know? People don't have the same thought processes as I do, and they don't think the same way I do. But, yeah. Going back to face, I'm going to give like an example of like fakery. This was when I was about 15, 16. I was going through my huge MySpace obsession, and I was like, oh my god, I'm Lewis Lionheart from MySpace, I'm so cool. I've got like 50,000 MySpace friends. And recently I realised how pathetic that was and deleted about 45,000. More than that. I had like 500 left. I don't know, 49,500. Everyone is there. Either people, you know, bands, comedians, people I know personally, or people I've met online and speak to. But, you know, when I was in this space, I met this one guy called Emery, and he's one of those people, you look at him and they're just so gorgeous, you know, and you know, he was genuinely nice, you know, and well, I say genuinely nice, you can be genuinely nice and you can still be an asshole occasionally, you know. If you're genuinely nice all the time, no one's nice all the time, let's face it. Everyone's mean sometimes. I can be mean sometimes, you know. I'm a nice person, I do bad shit sometimes, you know. And that's just the way it goes. No one's nice all the time, but anyway. When he spoke, he was speaking from the heart. I know that. And then, you know, he had a boyfriend and everything, and then I found it really fake, and I didn't care. I don't think you should do it, but I don't care, you know? Because I know you personally, but I think if you've got like a huge following for a persona, just like JT Leroy, that's when it gets out of hand, you know? You can just, sometimes you can have opinions. It's just, a face is a face. You can change a face, you know? You can change an opinion as well, but as far as the facial structure goes, you know, it's so many things you can do to change how you look, you know? So, you know, people just, like, actors do it all the time, models do it, actresses do it, musicians do it, you know? Everyone has, like, they can change the way they look, you know? It's just the personality and things, and he had a generally nice personality. But he was so, when people found out he was a fake, he was, like, really down about it. And, you know, I didn't know until he told me, but, you know, he told me after everyone else, and I think I was the only one that didn't care, because it's like, you know, I'm not gonna fuck you, you know, you live in fucking Ohio, so what does it matter to me if you are who you say you are, you know? You have the same opinions, and that's what matters, you know, when it comes down to it. JT Leroy, you know, Laura Albert herself has actually said that she could write things as JT Leroy, she couldn't write as Laura Albert. And, you know, fair enough, those are just her, not so much opinions, but her thoughts coming across as someone else. Her mistake there was, instead of doing a pen name, she insisted on writing it as an autobiography of a fictional character who didn't exist, you know? And that's what caused all the controversy. People followed this guy, they felt so sorry for him, and then he didn't exist, you know? That was so much emotion and love even, and just thought and feeling given to this guy who doesn't even exist, you know? You have to respect her creativity, you know? That's like, that's art, you know? That is just art, and it's beautiful in a really fucked up sort of way, you know. But I respect that because she's putting something out there, you know. People are thinking about these things now. They're thinking about child prostitution and stuff like that, you know. Her books aren't they're very, very serious books, like the subject matter, you know. And it's true, you know. Then it's not true, but at the same time it is true. Sometimes lies come together and they speak a truth truer than truth, you know. I mean, as I said, my opinions are my opinions. Like, what I hate is when people fabricate their opinions. What I hate is when people, like, they fake their personalities to make people like them, you know. And I think that's what a lot of these big MySpace people do. I think that's what Chris Crocker does, certainly, because, you know, he acts. He acts. That's not real, you know. He acts. And no one cares about Britney Spears that much. Come on. I mean, yeah, if you've met Britney Spears personally, if she's had an actual impact on your life, fair enough. But see, humankind, as a species, we're inherently selfish. We care about us. We care about those closest to us. We don't care about some mediocre singer who has 2 or 3 songs that are actually awesome, let's face it. But, you know, no one cares that much, you know. You shouldn't care that much. It's just sycophantic, you know. I mean, everyone's a little bit sycophantic to a degree, you know. Like, Eddie Izzard came to my uni a few months ago, and, you know, I think, I'm not sure if sycophantic is the right term, but I had to meet him, and I met him, and I got his autograph, and I got my photo taken with him. But there's a difference between wanting to meet someone. Like, if Eddie Izzard died right now, I'd be sad, yeah, but I wouldn't, you know, I wouldn't post a video saying, oh my god, you see Eddie, Eddie Izzard, you're a true martyr to the cause, you know. People should stop taking the piss out of you for being transvestite, you know, because that's not the real me, you know. Keep your opinions to yourself. Leave the mourning to people who actually know it personally. Give them that respect, and that, you know. As far as, like, much as I hate him, Marcy Lush, you know, I do respect the guy because, as far as I know, at least his opinions are real, you know. He doesn't fabricate anything, you know. Sometimes, yeah, he can be a little thick, and some things he say, it's just sometimes he's talking and I'm like, are you really saying these words or typing them down? It's like he says, you should starve yourself to prove you're a vegetarian. It's like, that's giving people an excuse to starve themselves. Well done, you know. If there's loads of anorexics in 10 years, and then they can say, you know, we're doing it because we want to be vegetarians, and no one's going to respect that, you know. Don't give people an excuse, because something like that is a horrible thing. No matter the thing, people shouldn't make themselves starve to prove a point or anything, you know. And that's why I have no respect for him. But at least you are to tell your own opinions, and not watering them down to make people like you. I mean, it was Twilight. I like Twilight, but, you know, I'm not obsessed with Twilight. I think it's not as good written as everyone says, but at the same time I can admit that, yeah, it's got a decent storyline to it, you know. But people, at the same time, they're obsessing over it, and they're saying, oh my god, you know, I'm so in love with Edward. And then it's like, you're in love with a fictional character. That's like being in love with JT Leroy, frankly. Except, you know, at least JT Leroy made public appearances even though it was a woman, you know. You're not being in love with fictional, like, fake character, you know. And I've completely forgotten the point I was trying to make. Yeah, opinions are what matter. You know, my ex posted photos of himself online that weren't him, and, you know, I didn't like it, but, you know, he was still the same person, you know. But then I also found out that he was a compulsive liar, and that's what I hated more than anything, you know. I can deal with the fact that you're not the same, that, you know, people think you're someone else, fair enough, but opinions are what matter. It's what's inside that counts. You can change your face, you can't change your heart or your mind. You can, well, obviously change your mind's opinions, you can't change your heart, the person you are. It's not that easy. Done.